Hi folks, welcome to Set Apart Homestead. It's a little chilly this morning. Weather kind of changed slightly overnight and woke up to a cooler morning than we've been having, needing a little bit of a jacket. So a few videos back, maybe a week or two, I talked about some books and magazines. And in that video, I mentioned a magazine that is my favorite and that it's out of print. And it's the only magazine that I ever thought was really worthwhile. Well, I found out that the magazine is back in print, and I wanted to mention it. Now, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not getting any freebies or free subscription. You know, hey, if they want to do that, I'd probably take it because I love the magazine. So I'm not, I'm not plugging this other than it's one of the few that I would feel comfortable enough about mentioning and saying it's a good one. So it's up to you. But anyways, it's Backwoods Home. Now these are older issues because I haven't gotten a new issue yet. For those of you that have never seen one of these, my opinion is for this lifestyle, they are by far the best. Self-sufficiency, self-reliant living, homesteading, preparedness, everything. It's all in here, and the articles are great. It's the only magazine that I've ever picked up that every issue I can read it cover to cover and enjoy it and get something out of it. Now I know that there's a lot of new prepper magazines, and I've seen them in the stores, and the covers look like some model that's decked out from a video game or something. And I've flipped through them, and I'm not saying that there's not good stuff in them, but usually what I see are just really unrealistic things of the super ultra tactical gear, high speed, blah blah blah. And this lifestyle isn't really about that. I mean, the gear can be cool and it can be helpful at times, but it's really about, what's up here in your daily life of being more self-reliant. And that's what this magazine talks about. From what I understand, the guy that started the magazine and stopped the printing, his son has picked it up now and is in charge of getting the magazine in print again. They claim that nothing's going to change. The magazine will stay the same, other than it's only going to be a quarterly magazine. Backwoods Home, I stand by it that it's an amazing magazine. It's up to you whether you get it or not, but I truly enjoy it, and I was very excited to hear that they're back in print. All right, so today's video. See if you can hear. Some of you, make sure I didn't drop any, some of you will know what that is. And that's what I wanted to talk about. And it's money. Money. These are pre-65 silver quarters. And people ask from time to time my opinions on, storing up money, silver, gold, things like that. And I have mixed opinions of it. When I was a kid, I collected coins as a kid, that kind of stuff. But as for preparedness purposes, having a type of money that is real, I think that's what I want to talk about. So anyways, so for a lot of this is going to be for those of you that know nothing about, what's called junk silver and why to keep it. I know there's going to be people out there that's going to be way more expert than I, and that's fine. So this is what's considered junk silver. These are circulated, or have been circulated, coins that were produced pre-65. That's half dollars, quarters, and dimes. They were 90% silver and 10% copper. So you can still purchase these a lot of times at coin stores or online or antique shops or junk shops, and occasionally you can still find one in your change, although not as often as it used to be. Once in a while I find a dime. And they're mostly silver. Sure, you can buy silver bars, silver rounds, silver coins, numismatic. I think personally that this is the most value you're going to get for your dollar that you spend. I'm not into numismatic coins, and what I mean by that, for those of you that don't know the term, that means coins that you're not just purchasing it for the metal value, you're also purchasing it because of its rareness or its age, or it's basically an antique or something like that. you know, a particular coin that, you know, may only be worth $30 in silver or $20 in silver, but it's priced at $800 because of its rareness or whatever. I don't care about that, because when SHTF happens or the dollar drops, no one's going to care about the antique value of that coin. They only want to, you know, are interested in the metal that's in it, the silver or gold. So I couldn't care less about that kind of stuff. Rounds and bars, you know, sometimes a little bit harder would probably be harder to spend. So I think that junk silver is the way to go. But do I think that you should all be just buying it up? I think, and this again is my opinion, that it should be on your to-do list of things to do, but not that high of a priority. I think you should be, you know, getting your food storage in place, other supplies, medical supplies, guns, ammunition, location, things like that for prepping. And then once you kind of get that stuff, you know, under control, a good handle on it, then maybe looking at stuff like this. Where to buy it? You know, there's places online, but you need to be careful about that. Do some research. Remember that it's only 90% silver. They usually figure with the wear, you know, because some of the silver has been worn off. It's like 0.715 ounces, a dollar face. So 4 quarters would equal $1, and if there would be, I think it's 0.715 is usually what's considered ounce out of 4 quarters, or 10 dimes, or 2 half dollars, or whatever it is. You can also find coin stores. There's a coin store not too far from me that I buy from occasionally, and he's really good about selling it, you know, not ripping you off that just over spot price on silver. But I've seen other people, you know, that'll sell a quarter like this for $5, or I mean more than that, you know, $8-10 for just 1 quarter, and it has no numismatic value. It's just a circulated half or a quarter dollar. Sorry, getting a little tongue twisted there. So be careful about where you buy from. There's a lot of people online and in stores that are trying to rip people off that don't really understand purchasing silver and gold or precious metals, and they just hear that it's cool, and they try to, almost like a used car salesman, you know, no knock against you used car salesmen out there, trying to get you to buy it. So be careful and read up on it before you start getting into the world of buying junk silver. So is it something that's really worth having for an SHTF? Well, I've thought about it a lot, and my answer is yes and no. It's hard to tell. It is a more real money, obviously, than our paper money, because that's not real money. I think most of you probably are aware of that. It's not really worth the paper that it's printed on. But in an SHTF situation where people are starving and trying to survive, do they really care about silver and gold? I think it really is going to depend on what is going on. My thoughts are, in the initial aftermath of whatever would happen, there's probably going to be a lot of people that's not going to think, depending on what's happened, that's not going to think that it's, you know, this is going to be long term. You know, government will jump in, they'll help us out. So, you know, this is only going to last for a few weeks. And if the dollar, American paper dollar, has lost its value, then something like this, people might be interested in trading this for other goods. After it becomes apparent that whatever's happened is more permanent or more long-term, I think a lot of people aren't going to care, you know, because you can't eat silver. They're going to want food. They're going to want, you know, protection items to protect themselves, or medicine. Look at Venezuela. They're not running around trying to steal silver. They're running around trying to steal food and water. So that's probably going to be that. And then, you know, as I'm trying to think and come up with scenarios in my mind. Maybe after a while, once things settle down and I guess everyone that's going to die dies off, the people that are left would create some type of commerce, and silver and gold would probably be that, mostly silver, because it's easier to trade. It's, you're not talking about hundreds of dollars in value. It's much less value. You can buy a loaf of bread with a dime or something like that versus a truck with a 1 ounce of gold. So I think that it does have its place, but I'm not like some people that think it's the thing for preppers. It's definitely can be used as an investment. As our dollar continues to become more and more worthless, silver is going to become worth more and more. It has its utility use in medicine and in sciences, technology, so there's always going to be a demand for silver in that arena. And then most people, especially the older, but I think even some younger, not all, some younger people do still get it, that silver is it's real money. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you have the means to purchase the silver and to stock up on it, do so, but don't take away from getting your food preps and your land going. If it's a decision on whether to use the money to put a garden in or to buy some junk silver, put a garden in first. Get those things squared away. Maybe little by little purchase this, because a lot of places you can. This coin shop around here that I can go to, you can walk in with $20 and walk out with $20 and dimes and quarters from the guy. So if you want to do it that way, I guess that's okay. Just be careful, again, because there's a lot of shady deals out there I've seen online and in the stores where people are really trying to take advantage and put a huge markup on junk silver. And again, junk silver are silver coins pre-1965, because after 1965 they used less and less silver. Pre-1965 quarters, dimes, halves, that have been circulated. They've been in circulation, so they're they're rubbed down. There's no collector value to them, but they're still silver, 90% silver. And that's probably, in my opinion, the best that you can get for your money that you spend. But like I said, I wouldn't put it as a super high priority. But it's definitely something that you should look into and have some on hand. Maybe occasionally spending $50 to $100 to buy some of this stuff wouldn't be a bad thing. But put your priorities first, and I think your priorities needs to be, food, supplies like medical supplies, making sure you've got your water source down, you're developing land or purchasing land so that you can live on, developing your homestead, and guns and ammunition. I think those are higher priorities than precious metals, unless that's where you just want to invest your money. If you'd rather do that instead of investing in the stock market, you're not going to get the quick returns on it. Well, you don't get any return on it. There's no interest or paycheck every quarter or something for buying these. But long term, I think you'll still do okay if you want to look at it that way, as just strictly an investment. Anyways, I just thought I would talk about that because I have had some questions about it. People asking about precious metals and silver and gold, that sort of thing, of how that might fit into preparedness. And I think it does. I just don't put it as high a priority as some people do. But yeah, I still do it, mostly because I've done it for years, but I don't go out there and put most of my effort and money into getting this. If I stumble across it and it's a good deal, I'll pick some up, but that's usually about it. All right. I saw someone ask once about, what would be maybe a good starter goal of how much to come up with. Well, there's face value, okay? I guess I didn't mention that. Face value means even though this silver quarter has a value of more than 25 cents, its face value is 25 cents. So a face value, I would say, you know, $300 to $500 face value of silver would be a good goal. But don't break the bank and take from your food supply to get to that point. Just do it a little at a time. And that's the cool thing with junk silver, is that you can just buy a little bit here and there to get to that goal. All right, that's my opinion. Don't claim that it's the right one, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of disagreements and hopefully discussions. Thank you all for watching, and I'm going to catch you in the next video.